What's up, Lash fam? Welcome back to my channel for another helpful lash video. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to isolate the natural lash using both volume and classic extensions. We want to make sure when we're isolating that we are doing it properly and only doing one extension per one natural lash. So that is what I will show you in today's video, how to properly isolate, getting one lash into your isolation and applying one extension to that natural lash. All right, Lash fam, let's jump into this video. As you can see right away, you see the method that I'm using. I am using my pinky. Now the pinky method is used to help you guide those other extensions out of the way. That way you can see more natural lashes come out. So that is what I use when I am volume lashing. You can see here, I am moving the other lashes that are already lashed out of the way, and it's opening up a section so that I'm able to see those natural lashes that need an extension on it. So the reason why I use this method is because when you are making volume fans, you already have your fan in that tweezer, so you're unable to use that tweezer to your advantage to help you isolate. So since that tweezer is holding a fan, I'm using my pinky to help me and guide me to move all those other things out of the way so that I can place a extension onto the natural lash cleanly. We don't want any other extensions or natural lashes in the process. Remember, it's 1-to-1 ratio always. It's very important that we have proper isolation in all of our sets, because it will cause a headache of problems in the long run. So we're gonna make sure that we isolate just 1-to-1 the entire process. There are a few methods that you could use to help you isolate. Here, this is the easiest. I will also show you a taping method, which is one of my favorites to help me get those inner corners. But here we're gonna focus just on using our pinky and using our tools. So if you see here, I'm using both tweezers to help guide me through the lashes and to find those natural lashes that need lashing. So here I'm using a classic lash, so I did use my tools to help me find the isolation versus just using my pinky. Instead, I'm using both tweezers. And this is great because the tweezers help isolate tremendously. I also do this to help me make sure that none are sticking together. I like to go through my sets and just make sure that they are clean, nothing's sticking, 1-to-1 ratio always. Sometimes lashes do get stuck together in the process, and we want to detach those from being put together. So use your tweezers, go in between the lashes, make sure none of them are stuck together. This method is great for classic lashing because you can use both tools like I am here. And I'm just looking for that natural lash. Doing it nice and slow. We want to make sure that this process is very slow. Lashing is very tedious. You guys know this. So we want to be slowed and controlled in everything we're doing. If you do these steps, they will help you so much. So I'm going to let this video play. You guys will notice the different methods that I'm using. These are two of my favorite. I definitely recommend them. If you have questions, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are struggling with, what applications you guys are using at the moment, or if you have used the pinky method and you have used both tweezers. We want to use those tweezers to our advantage, ladies. Please, 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 this is huge. I teach this in my classes. We want to make sure that both tweezers, both instruments are always being used. They are there for our help. So again, you can see I'm finding it, I'm using the other tweezer, and then once I find it, I grab my classic extension and I put it directly onto the natural lash. So classic lashing is obviously a little bit easier when you're isolating. You get to use both tools. It just makes it for an easier process. When you're volume lashing, it's a little more difficult because we need to make our fans before we isolate. So Using your pinky is definitely a great method just to help you girls have a little bit more control over what you're doing when you are isolating. A lot of people have trouble with finding the natural lash because there are a ton at sometimes. So moving the lashes out of the way, holding them down with your pinky will open up a gap, and you'll be able to see those natural lashes a lot better than if you're just going in with your single isolation tweezer trying to get one out by itself. It's a very, very difficult process. So hold those lashes over, hold them down. You guys aren't going to damage what you've already done. Make sure it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. And then I'm going to tap off this excess glue because it's a little too much. And then I'm going to apply it right on there. And I like to hold my my little thing open just a little bit to allow for that glue to dry, to avoid any lashes sticking together. So you can see again, I'm definitely checking to make sure nothing's stuck. We don't want any stickies. We want everything to be solo by itself. I do give my lashes a good little brush in between. I like to do it when I start seeing some fullness. That way I can see the direction of the lashes and where I need to put what. So when I lash map, I don't necessarily do it on the pad itself. I can do it in my head. If it is easier for you to see your lash map out in front of you, please do write that on the pad just to give you a little bit better of a direction when you're lashing, so that you don't have to worry about placing extensions in the wrong place. Definitely don't get discouraged when you see a few lashes popping off when you're going through them. That happens sometimes. Just remember that lash was meant to fall off, so we're going to put a new one on regardless. You can see now I'm making my fans and then I'm coming back in. I like to place my extension underneath the natural lash. I just feel like it's a better application, stays on better. It's just my favorite. And you can notice in this that I jump back and forth a lot. I like to lash the inner and then lash the outer. Then I also lash the middle. I jump around. I don't like to focus on lashing one particular spot for too long, because when that happens, it is at a higher risk for lashes to stick together during the application. Here is one of my favorite techniques. I am using the tape, and you notice that I pulled it to the side. I didn't necessarily pull the lashes up. I just pulled the lashes to the side and laid them flat. This allows me to get those inner corners perfectly. It sections it off so great to where I don't have to deal with any other lashes that are already lashed. It just moves them completely out and I don't even see them, so I focus more on the little inner corners that are already hard to see. I definitely recommend this technique. You want to make sure you detack your tape, like always, before placing it onto the extensions, because when you do remove it, it can pull out all the lashes that you've already lashed. So you can see as I go, I will continue to tape down all those other ones that have already been lashed until there are no more to lash. So I'm going to go ahead and remove. We do it slowly. This one's detacked. Perfect. This is just some of my favorite techniques. I think that you guys should try out. You guys know that I only tell you what I use and what works best for me. So this is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to let you guys just watch this. I will and I do lash 100% of the natural lashes, which I recommend all of you new lash artists trying to do. It makes such a huge difference in your sets. Lashing completely all of them, all of the ones that you can. I here in this will not lash certain ones just because they are growing in at a different cycle. So some of them are way too small, so I do avoid those. But for the most part, I lash 100 to 95% of the client's natural lashes. I hope you guys learned something. These are definitely my go-to techniques, and a lot of people learn a certain way. I think it's healthy to kind of just adapt to new things, try different ways. Sometimes your way isn't the easiest way, so drop a comment and let me know if this has helped you guys, or if you guys are going to use this technique. And make sure in those inner corners that you do use the tape method just to help you guys out a little bit, to move all the other stuff out of the way so that you guys can see those natural lashes so much better and so much clearer. Lastly, before you finish your set, you definitely want to make sure that you are going through and checking and making sure that none are stuck together. I like to do this throughout my set, as you have seen. I check multiple times. I like to fix the problem before the end of it. So I just go through double checking, making sure nothing's stuck. That way there's no pulling, there's no issues for my client, and she just has a very pleasable just set every time she comes in. When we're isolating, we definitely want to take our time. This is the part of the process, the most important part of the process. If we're too quick when we isolate, it does just cause a lot of issues. So you can see here, one of those got stuck. I just gently separated them. Super easy to do. Just grab those two extensions, pull them apart very gently and nicely. Give your lashes a good brush. We definitely want to make sure that when we are isolating, we do it slow, controlled, just to avoid any problems. And we want to take our time when we are lashing. Remember, this is not something that is quick and just in and out. Lashing is very, very technical. It takes a lot of time and effort, especially when we want to do clean, nice sets. So I encourage you all to give yourself a little extra time when you're lashing, just to make sure you're not rushed and that you're doing the process correctly. For your integrity of your business and also for your clients, we want to make sure that our clients have a great experience, have a great lashing experience. So again, same thing on the right eye, left eye. We're going to do the same process. I apply some extensions on top, I apply some extensions underneath. It all just depends on what goes on easiest and best. All right, Lash fam, so that does conclude my isolation video. I hope you guys learned something new. I hope it was super helpful. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if it was. I want to touch base with you guys on a few updates with Lashes by Kin, Shop Lashes by Kin specifically. There are a few things going on. The lashes, as you know, are restocking Saturday the 8th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so make sure you set your alarms for that. Tweezers will be restocking in about 3 weeks. I'm still working on final touches on them. They will be in, and I will promote that as much as I can on, of course, my Instagram as well. Dark Matter sold out super fast. I have ordered a new shipment, and that should be in next week around Tuesday or Wednesday. So everything will be back up and running. Thank you guys for your support with the lash line. I'm loving your guys' work and all the positive feedback. If you checked my Instagram yesterday, I talked about these necklaces a little bit. I went ahead and contacted the company and asked them for a code for you guys. A lot of you guys were interested in them. It does help with anxiety. They also have other lashes. They also have other necklaces that help with just certain things. So you guys can go ahead and go on there. Use code KINS15 for 15% off your order. Other than that, that is it for me. I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you next week for more videos.